Quick question. When was the last time you felt genuinely bored? Not waiting for your coffee bored or between Netflix episodes bored. I mean that deep, uncomfortable, nothing to do kind of boredom where you're just sitting with yourself. For most of us, the answer is we can't remember. And here's the thing, that might actually be hurting us. I'm Chloe, and this is Real English Today from Craft Your English. Today we're talking about something that sounds simple but feels impossible in 2025. Doing absolutely nothing. Let's explore why boredom has become a lost art and why we might need to bring it back. Here's what's fascinating. Boredom used to be just part of life. You'd wait in line, sit on a bus, have a quiet Sunday afternoon, but now the average person checks their phone 96 times a day. We've trained ourselves to fill every single gap, every pause, every moment of potential boredom with stimulation. I noticed this in my own life. The second I feel even slightly understimulated, my hand reaches for my phone. It's become a reflex. We're basically running from boredom, like it's this terrible thing we need to escape from. But what if boredom isn't the problem? What if it's actually the pause we need? So here's the issue. When we constantly distract ourselves, we never give our brains space to wander. And brain wandering, that's where creativity lives. That's where you process emotions, make connections between ideas, and actually think deeply about your life. Think about it. When do you get your best ideas? Usually in the shower, on a walk, or right before falling asleep. Why? Because those are the rare moments when your mind isn't being fed content. Studies show that people who experience regular boredom are actually more creative problem solvers. It's not despite the boredom, it's because of it. The discomfort of having nothing to do forces your brain to generate something interesting from within. Now, here's where it gets tricky. We think we're resting when we scroll social media or binge a show. But that's not rest. That's distraction. There's a huge difference. Rest is when your nervous system actually calms down. Distraction is when you're still consuming, still processing information, just mindlessly. You ever finish 2 hours of scrolling and feel more tired than when you started? That's because your brain has been working the whole time. Real boredom, the kind where you're just sitting there, maybe looking out a window, maybe doing nothing. That's when restoration happens. That's when your mind gets to reset. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Because I know what you're thinking. Chloe, I don't have time to be bored. But here's the thing. You don't need hours. You just need pockets. Try this. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, sit with your coffee for 5 minutes. Just sit. Don't read, don't scroll, don't plan your day. Just be there with the coffee. Or this. Next time you're waiting for a bus, in line, for a friend, resist the urge to fill that gap. Let yourself be bored. Notice what comes up. Maybe it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's peaceful. Maybe you start noticing things around you that you normally miss. The goal isn't to be bored all the time. It's to stop treating boredom like an emergency that needs immediate fixing. Let's talk about some of the vocabulary we've used today, because these words are super useful when discussing modern life and mental well-being. First, stimulation. That's any input that activates your senses or mind. We talked about being constantly stimulated by our devices. Understimulated. The opposite. When you don't have enough happening, you feel bored. I felt understimulated during the meeting. Brain wandering. When your mind drifts without focused attention. This is actually valuable for creativity. Distraction. Something that takes your attention away. We often confuse distraction with rest. Nervous system, the network in your body that controls stress and relaxation. My nervous system needs a break. Restoration, the process of recovering energy and calm. True rest brings restoration. And finally, reflex, an automatic response you don't think about. Checking my phone is a reflex now. A few natural phrases we used. Fill the gap, to occupy empty time or space. I always fill the gap with my phone. Run from something, to avoid or escape. We're running from boredom. Make connections between ideas, to see how different thoughts relate. Here's a question for you to practice. How do you usually deal with boredom? Do you embrace it or avoid it? Try answering out loud using some of today's vocabulary. Maybe something like, I usually avoid boredom by scrolling, but I want to try letting my mind wander more. So here's my challenge for you this week. Find one moment, just one, where you let yourself be bored. No phone, no music, no book. Just you and the quiet discomfort of having nothing to do. And here's the thing I want you to notice. What comes up when you stop running? What thoughts appear? What do you notice around you? Drop a comment and tell me, when's the last time you were truly bored? And how did it feel? Thanks for watching Real English Today. I'm Chloe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, try doing nothing. You might be surprised by what happens.